for the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 review for the PS4. Many of you may know the Dreamcast was the first console I owned, and Pro Skater 2 was one of my favorite games for it. I spent so many hours learning tricks and exploring all the levels. Does this remaster bring back the awesome nostalgia, or does it bail? Let's find out. Seeing how this is a bundled game, I was originally going to review just Pro Skater 2, but because both games are essentially the same concept and playstyle just with different levels, I might as well include both into this review. When you begin, you'll be able to choose a character or create your own. Since I don't follow the skating world, Tony Hawk is the only person I know from the list, and that's who you'll see in most of this video. It's cool that everyone starts out with their own unique stats, but because you're able to eventually increase those stats as you play through, I would assume that everyone plays the same, or at least very similarly to each other when they all have maxed out stats. Each level is packed with different obstacles you can use to perform tricks. The tricks consist of grabs, flips, and grinds with your board, and each category of tricks are mapped to the square, triangle, and circle buttons respectively. Performing each trick nets you points, but landing correctly is how you actually receive those points. You could pull off a crazy trick combo, but if you don't land correctly, or bail, those points go down the drain. Once you've pulled off a certain number of tricks, especially if you can chain tricks together, your special meter at the top left corner will be full, allowing you to pull off, well, special tricks. There's many to choose from and map to your controller, some of which can net you a large amount of points. Not only are these really fun to perform, but after some practice, being able to string together multiple tricks one after the other is just really fun in general. In each level, you'll have a checklist of goals you need to hit in order to unlock the next level, and rinse and repeat until all levels are unlocked. Some goals are the same in each level, such as collecting scattered letters to complete the word skate, or finding the usually difficult to reach VHS tape. Most of the goals, though, are level specific, such as jumping over or alling 3 fire hydrants in New York City, or collecting 5 Liberty Bells in Philadelphia. You only have 2 minutes to complete as much as you can per run, and unless you've mastered each one before, it will take you multiple attempts to finish all the goals in each level. Some goals are borderline impossible to complete unless you've increased certain stats for your character. Like right here, there's a collectible high above this ledge, but my ollie stat isn't yet high enough for me to be able to get up there. Thankfully, you don't have to complete all the goals in one level to advance, so if you're unable to complete a goal you've been stuck on for a while, assuming you've been able to recently increase your stats, you can go back to a previous level and complete something else that you weren't able to before. It doesn't matter which goals you accomplish, just as long as you complete the required minimum in order to unlock the next level. One aspect of completing the goals is that some can be a real mystery on where and or how you go about doing so. Like for instance, one goal on this level is to complete 3 rooftop gaps. The first 2 are, to a degree, not too difficult in figuring out how to complete them, but the third one was so cryptic that I had to look up online on how to do it. You're supposed to launch off this ramp and not bail when you hit the ground, is what I thought. No, instead you're not supposed to hit the ground, but grind on this rail before touching the ground. Like, what? If there's some sort of hint or anything to tell me I was supposed to do this and I missed it, then that's on me. But I swear there's nothing to indicate this. Plus, angling yourself so you don't over or undershoot the rail is not the easiest thing to do. Another one was in this level. Fortunately, before you begin a level, the camera will show you where you need to complete a goal, but if it involves a specific grind trick, it can be a real head scratcher. With this one, I have to tail slide on this ledge to complete the goal. But how do I perform a tail slide? Nowhere in the trick guides does it tell you. It shows you how to perform specific lip tricks, but there's nothing to tell you how to perform certain grinds. Again, I had to look it up. Most goals aren't too difficult to figure out, but there's a handful between both games that can be nearly impossible to decipher without any help, or having a huge amount of patience and a bit of luck. Completing the goals will not only help unlock the next levels, but will also net you experience and money. Experience levels you up, which can unlock specific skating gear and clothing, and money actually lets you purchase these items. I honestly didn't care about these as they're all just cosmetic. The thing I really cared about were the stats for your character, and the only way to increase them was to collect stat points scattered throughout each level. I didn't mind this, but I feel like it would have made more sense to gain a stat point every time you leveled up. Instead of having to restart your character's stats when switching between games, it was a great design choice in that your player's stats are permanent between both. Seeing how I've never played the original before, it took me quite a while to build up my stats and complete the missions in each level. When I switched to Pro Skater 2 though, it was much easier and faster to complete since my character still had the same stats as when I finished the first game. The graphics at a glance look great, however the character models looked blurry when selecting them, like the game wasn't able to fully render them. The same thing could happen with various textures when playing custom maps online. There were also a couple of glitches I ran into, or skated into actually. The controls were basically flawless, however performing special tricks took some getting used to, as the timing to input the button combination is very precise, and sometimes it felt like it wouldn't work when you could have sworn you did it right. Other than that, I didn't have any other complaints. Much of the music is quite nostalgic for me, referring to Pro Skater 2. Almost all the original songs have returned, but a large assortment of new songs have also been added, and thankfully you're able to easily skip a track with R3 and even make a custom playlist. One of the most notable differences between this game and the originals is that you're actually able to listen to the entirety of every song. In the originals, the song would stop playing when your 2 minutes in a level was over, but this game treats the songs like you're listening to a radio, as the music will continue to play even within the loading screens without pause. Besides the main campaigns, there's a variety of multiplayer modes including Free Skate, Tag, which is really fun, various modes to see who can get the highest score, or one of my personal favorites, Graffiti, where once you've performed a trick on any obstacle, you capture that obstacle. However, if the other player performs a higher point trick on that same obstacle, they will take it over, and whoever has more terrain at the end of the timer wins. It's pretty much Splatoon without the ink. There's also a custom park creator that allows you to create your dream park, as well as play on parks others created. The final gameplay option is an online rank system. Here, you can perform tricks in any level to see where you rank with others. I have a long way to go. If you're like me and played at least one of the original Pro Skaters when you were young, this huge dose of nostalgia is for you. While a handful of the goals can be confusingly cryptic, oddly unrendered graphic elements are present, and performing special tricks can sometimes not register, updated graphics, precise controls, a large customizable soundtrack that you're actually able to listen to every song fully this time, and fun extras including multiplayer and custom park building make this one gnarly game bundle. This game gets a 4.25 out of 5 with the title of awesome.